Tempo proving themselves, and if they win here on Cobble, really proving themselves, like playing on a map and then picking another map that Dignitas is extremely known for and just winning. That is certainly saying, it was touched on the desk earlier, that we're the better team, or we think we're the better team. And now they're going to try to prove it to us here, getting into this pistol round.
Yeah, wow, this aggressive A push. 2 players spotted though. I think they've definitely at least heard those USPs. And that's going to push the bomb over towards B, and they know that so much presence is being had at A, but it's Rubino to actually push through with his teammates from the site. And looks, the Ts and the CTs have switched positions. Now Tensky meeting in spawn with Showtime and going down, but all the CTs on rotates through all the areas where terrorists should be. Yeah,
this is weird. Tempo Storm's like, look, we are the T side now. And they're coming in to this A site, and MSL in the mid room is going to go one, but then pulls the knife out, not expecting another so quickly. So Showtime to get that trade frag and bomb to be planted. Lucas, I believe, spotted both of those guys. Falling back and trying to push up on the outside of that wooden fence. There's one player there for Dignitas. Showtime trying to do what he can up the CT slope, and it's not much. Config will take him down, and Lucas will fall to the Glock of Rubino.
That's a round that you can't really, that's not a pistol round that'll ever cite in a demo for someone to watch and be like, this is the strategy you should use on this pistol round. Yeah, because it's totally contingent on Tempo Storm going for that really aggressive A push with 3 people, which seemed to be some type of hard read that didn't work out too well, and then Dignitas having a smart adjustment mid-round to just make it an A play instead of a full B hit, which it seemed like it was about to be. Or I guess it was going to be connector split in the first place since the bomb was closer to A than it was to B.
Well, we can see Tempo Storm now. Henny going for a very, very late buy, just the $200 for the flash. Let's see how they can use that. As one of the players that went for pistol armor has already been taken out. Now we've just got Phelps and Showtime that are really armed and dangerous. It was Tensky who opened it up, finding the double with that MAC-10. Will now take the AK that fell off of Rubino. I'm trying to preserve that into the next round. Looks like Tempo Storm is trying to get exits here with the 5.7 in armor and use that in the next round as well.
Yeah. Oh, wow, MSL goes down, and he was the perfect man to try to get these kills because he only had an SMG to lose. No one else really wants to chase here. Not worth losing these AKs to die to armor. I know one thing about Dignitas, they're going to be meticulous about one thing. It's going to be all the details like saving on these, exiting properly, like playing proper afterplants. All the small things, actually proper afterplants is something everyone should do well, but the finer details are something that you can count on Dignitas when you watch them to not make mistakes on. Getting greedy is something you won't see from this team.
This is an angle right here for Kirby, and it's going to work out perfectly. Phelps walks right up into it. That was a 5.7 armor player. You know, not like super critical that he saves, but it would definitely help things moving forward into this next round for Tempo. And the big thing there for Dignitas, it was just the submachine gun players that died. I believe they preserved all of the AKs, which I think totaled to 3.
Mm-hmm. But hey, that's maybe a kill that he doesn't get, and then, you know, a round that isn't won, and then a game that isn't won. Butterfly effect. It could have happened. Could have been a huge exit frag, but we'll never know. Now, Showtime, the only one with head armor, has an SMG as well. Kind of nice to have this on CT side. But a couple of MAC-10s because they know they can farm. Dignitas have, and Rubino's going to kick it off with the first kill. And they've got a lot of information now. I've already pushed into the site. Everybody just falling apart now on the side of Tempo Storm. And just as I say that, Showtime gets a 2K with his armor MP7.
Rubino coming back for the football that was dropped. Retrieved it, and he'll finish off the round. That's a
European soccer.
For him. Yeah, as I said that, I was like, wait a minute. That'll be confusing now, but yeah.
Dignitas off to a 3-0 start. We saw Tempo Storm take the first pistol. Did they take the second pistol on map 1 at 9.6 half, and then...
Tempo got the pistol.
Tempo did get the pistol. Okay.
Yeah, they got out to like a 13-7 lead, I think, at one point.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Then the comeback was definitely on. It ended up being like 13-12.
Opportunity here for Dignitas to set the pace of the match. On T side, they can really impose their will on Tempo Storm if they're able to get away with an opening kill or map control for free. Henny is going to be taking first contact now, looking for an op shot, doesn't find the kill, and that's going to cause him to fall back well, giving up lower A control.
Yeah, he's still taking that angle because Showtime has over to his left. He's watching long, and oh, it's Tensky who is possibly going to be caught cycling out on the grenades, but can't get to the AK quick enough to find the trade 1-for-1 out there at long A, and that forced Henny to give up his angle that he had on Danger.
Look how fast Dignitas forfeit A control. They're not even walking out, they're running out. And I think they pushed Tempo Storm into a position where they're scared, and Dignitas know that the control rotations a little bit. Rubino already has drop control, and everyone's setting up for a long B hit. Molotov coming out, and 3 people looking to come out long B.
I mean, Lucas could be the key guy here, just depending on how the Mag 7 is going to go for him. And they might have shoulder peeked him. He's going to get 1. He will possibly find a second. The Mag 7 not being very kind to him right here, but he has done a ton of damage, and Phelps will finish it off with a double spray down, taking out both MSL and Config.
Yeah, I mean, Tempo Storm were prepared for either site equally, and therefore, you know, not prepared for either site that well because they only had 4 players in total. But Dignitas moving into B, it came down to a matter of hitting shots, and like taking that much damage from the Mag 7 is pretty much unacceptable, especially when he's the only player there defending a broken wall. So I think they're going to be kind of angry at themselves, especially MSL, who with a few bullets trying to get that kill once and for all. But they had something going for them. They had like drop control, and that's what I think caused them to run it back. But I think they're just going to continue with the pace that they had been going with, and that's starting with A control first. This time, however, Henny is going to find his op pick. And
it seemed like Kirby was just moving in like so confident with his nades and utility placement that he could take control of that mid room. We didn't quite see it, but Henny hits the shot there and then is able to fall back. Then Tensky falls. So it's going to be a tough round here for Dignitas, who should be semi-close to getting reset. Or at least having to go for a lighter buy.
The second, you know, this early into the half, just these 2 rounds should cause them to save for sure.
And this is the God spot, in my opinion, where Phelps is right now. As long as you have that long B platform control, you get this kill 100%. Of course, I've said that, so we probably won't. But let's see. Come on, Phelps. Don't let me down. Yes! I know what I'm talking about, Launders. Rubino will get 1. And it's actually now Rubino left in what I guess was a 1 versus 4. He'll find his second, but now on 2 HP. Showtime on the flank will secure that one.
Yeah, and Cobblestone walked down B with really good spots, just as you mentioned. Phelps in his spot was crucial as well. Getting the player taking control of E-Box, who's MSL, and I think he assumed that that gave his team a lot of leeway, but it didn't. There's still 3 Tempo Storm players beyond Phelps, and they all did their part. So now Tempo Storm take 2 in a row. They've earned themselves a save off of Dignitas, and they're almost nullifying the effect of the pistol round. As Dignitas have to pull together a lot more T rounds here, or they're not going to be happy.
Maybe a time for bolts on this round to just kill some pistol users and remember what it's like to get a kill, because he's sitting on 0 frags right now, which could actually be worrying for Dignitas if bolts does start turning things around. And it's actually 3 over at A for Tempo Storm, 2 at B.
Config with just a Glock, and that just goes to show that they think very carefully about how much money each person has in their future rounds. Really great grasp on their economy.
Showtime up on top of the boost, so a very powerful position there for him. Can't really be put at too much danger from those Tech 9s and Glocks. There's maybe a chance that the P250 could find him, but he should certainly be good for 1. And, well, there's 1 flash on Kirby. Let's see where they want to use it. And, okay, no, that was a flash coming out from Tempo Storm that we heard go off. So it's still yet to be seen where Kirby will throw his. And there it is. It's coming out of the mid-room. But Showtime will see it. It was not poppy enough. And, all right, not good for the 1 kill. Too many targets, and he sprays kind of in between them all. But it's Phelps at the first cannon. He will find 1, and still a great spot for him to sit at. Rubino has got an AK, which could make things very dangerous. Phelps to pull out that USP. He finds 1, and now Henny in the back of that A site still trying to quickly react to Config, but he won't need the help. Bolts will take him down.
Yeah, Showtime whiffing there and then going down seemed a little bit worrisome for Tempo Storm, but Tempo Storm actually had just like the best setup possible for an A hit, and even though Dignitas tried to wait them out with A control, they had Phelps, who is normally a B player, playing dedicated at A, along with Henny, who had an op, and who was just a beast in general. So now it's 3-3, and we're back to a rifle round to see who can take a second lead in the game. If it's going to be Dignitas to continue, or Tempo to convert.
Okay.
And Showtime, did he just push with an MP7?
Yes.
Out to long A?
I guess he's just trying to go for that quick information play, but he got a little too much information because he saw 3 people and then took a bunch of bullets.
He pretty much peeked the longest angle on the map
with the submachine gun. Longest angle, but maybe was expecting the rush. So I was thinking, all right, they'll be close at this point. I don't know. It certainly looked a little bit weird.
I mean, considering they just won a round, they must have been anticipating a save, because I don't know why he would have an MP7.
Yeah, that has to be it.
If not, but bad read, I guess.
All right, Henny up top. Did they have that long A? They actually do not have long A control whatsoever. So Henny's going to be kind of caught in 2 minds right now. And he will actually post up on the angle along A. Phelps completely blinded. There's not going to be any support there, so Config coming away with a free headshot. Henny's rotated up to this balcony. A beautiful shot onto Kirby. These are hard shots over the headshot ledge onto MSL. Just missing Rubino, but then Lucas taking over where Henny left off. It's Tensky to trade that one and end the possibility that Tempo Storm stays in that round. Config will also find bolts.
Henny tried so hard there. He almost bailed his team out with. If he got that third frag, it just would have been over, I'm certain. But Tempo lost that round, and I think it honestly came off the back of using the MP7. I mean, they clearly thought that it was going to be a save round for whatever reason, which I don't even see how it's hard to read the economy at that point, considering it's just like no one has max loss, and it's just buy, save. So I think it'd be pretty clear that Dignitas would have enough money to have the buy, but a lapse of judgment there cost them a round. And now
a pretty big round, too.
Yeah, keep the lead. Huge round. Because it's worth 2, right?
Yeah, it breaks that economy at Tempo Storm. You wouldn't expect him to have a great chance here, but then Showtime trying to make amends for his blunder on the last round, almost coming away with those 2, but instead it's Kirby that will find the double. And Kirby seems to be someone the analysts have their eye on to bring his top-notch performances. And there's Config bringing down Phelps.
Yeah, he's super good. Yeah, Tempo Storm will have been able to get at least 1 kill here. All the economic damage matters so much early in the half, and I'd still consider it early. Even though we're about halfway through, it's just going to make such a big difference. Every kill can matter. And it's actually Dignitas who don't have to search here. I mean, they just gave up an AK, and like that AK might actually get away. So that was a pretty big loss, I think. Well, Config tried to find a player who didn't have a gun worth chasing.
It was pretty funny, actually. Config pre-firing and clearing every single angle except for the one where that player kind of... Well, like, he did sort of pre-fire that, but not, committed enough to that hard angle. And Kirby will come through and find bolts. So no one going to get away for Tempo Storm. Dignitas will go up to 6 rounds. Just kidding. It was already counted 5 rounds to the 3 of Tempo Storm.
And what's going to happen here? Dignitas want to try to find a way to reinvent themselves, where on the past couple of rounds, especially ones that have been working, they decided to go for A control and then actually hit A, whereas before they had changed it up, run back to B. And they have to keep the other team honest at both sides. Whether or not they ever take B again and they want to go A every single round, they have to at least make it seem like they will. So I think it's Rubino to go and throw the Olaf smoke, which he's been known to do. I know Dignitas have a fierce B hit, but it seems like Tempo Storm's B setups are just superior at this moment. It's not even like everyone has to hit their shots. Everyone's getting a free kill at B.
Well, Henny has got this angle again.
Free kill on that ang.
Yeah, well, he missed it the last time, actually. It looked like he might have got some leg damage, but no, nothing happened in a round previous. But here, Henny hits that shot. Now there's a leg shot coming out. Showtime as well at this angle. That's not even the player. They don't see the assist, so they should know that the guy that's left in long A is low, critically wounded, and that's Tensky on just 5 HP, and he's going to line up a smoke.
It's a door smoke.
Yeah, should be to the connector doors, but it's 5-on-3 for Tempo Storm right now.
Yeah. Great teamwork from Tempo Storm holding down long A. Look at Tensky just on his last limbs at this moment already. And Showtime taking a great flash. Rubino cleans him up with ease. And now it comes down to Henny again. See if he can shine. Though, he's gotten some help. And it seems like A has been obvious as the site is going to be taken. Goes down to Rubino. Second kill of the round. And now there's still 2 people on the site.
Yeah, that was maybe even a bit over-aggressive there for Henny. He could have just fallen down by the telephone pole to get away from the Molotov. And now a lot is going to fall into Phelps here with this max 7. He will find Rubino, switch out for that AK, but a player Config had worked around him. And I actually thought Config might end up killing Phelps first before he could do anything. So I think Phelps pretty fortunate overall in that situation. Lucas up CT slope. The flash will go out. It is checked, but they don't spot him. And then Tensky mid-air shot in the foot, and he only had 5 HP. So easy frag for Lucas. Config, though, will plant the bomb, and Bolts had to have been pre-aiming that jump up.
Sure,
Jeez. That's a team ace.
That's a team ace, yeah. Duly noted. Really nice team play from Tempo Storm throughout that round. I mean, everybody found a really good spot, and just like those 2 tethering off each other at long A, getting the kill, doing the damage, falling off, and staying alive, all that added up to so much, considering Dignitas have been very adamant about trying to push aggressively onto A before they do anything, whether or not they go A or B. And so getting that early damage off at CT and staying alive has been integral and crucial.
I mean, so already we can see that this is appearing to be a competitive game. So, I mean, Tempo Storm already proving quite a bit, I think. But it's Dignitas that still has the lead with 1 round. This could be an important one here for them. You can already see it's getting a little tough to even buy on the Terra side. We've got 2 Galils out and a big lack of utility, actually, for Dignitas.
Yeah, extremely important point. Just goes to explain to you how close they are to saving. And it makes you wonder, did they really need 3 kits? You know, those are 2 extra kits is an extra $800, and yeah, it matters if you can't find one when you need a defuse, but ultimately they could have a bunch of utility.
Well, Rubino very blinded, but has worked his way down to the drop room, sitting in the smoke. Oh, there you go. He's found the window, but Bolts. He's pushed up into this position quite a few times. I'm actually unsure if he's really been tested in this position. And I don't know if he made noise, but Rubino may have heard that and become aware.
I think he could have totally telegraphed how Rubino had been playing the smoke because he throws the same one every single time. And maybe he's just fully expecting what Rubino's going to do here. These could be 2 players right now
rotation.
Watching each other's, that have watched each other's demos. And just a game of patience. I mean, that's exactly what this is. I mean, ultimately, it's Rubino who has to maybe make a first move if his team can't find a kill, since they're still 5 men up.
They don't even have the other side of drop covered. Henny's just sitting up there behind the wooden boxes,
oh my God.
And he's going to go down to Rubino, who comes out of drop, and that was the big blunder. Bolts playing a little bit passively, and it seems like Tempo Storm had kind of pulled an over-rotation to that A site. Bolts does get the 1 before he goes down, but now it's Phelps leading the charge. He'll be the first man making contact more than likely. Or no, he won't. It's on the flank where the contact is made, and Tensky trying to just use those extra 5 bullets, it's 35 that the Galil has to transfer that spray. It doesn't quite work out, but it's still Dignitas getting the round and Showtime running away to save.
Really important point that you mentioned. No one was helping out Henny there at Long B. And that pretty much, that B hold was contingent on him staying alive because he's locking down Long B. He can also transfer his talent to spot drop. And he most likely would get 2 or 3 kills. Like, just being realistic, every time he's had line of sight on a player with his op, he's been able to hit the shot, whether it's been like a jumping flick or just a straight up op hit dead on. And him getting shot in the side is just a huge loss for Tempo Storm. Dignitas exploiting a hole in Tempo's game right there.
Yeah, you could see Bolts was concerned it wasn't covered. He was even spinning around to check the door, making sure he wasn't getting flanked. But in the end, it was...
That's a gap of communication, though, right? You know, drop is open. Well, I know this guy's in drop, yet I'm not going to tell you
a calculated risk or a lack of communication, but it did not work out. And that was such an important round, too, as it has reset Tempo Storm once more, and Rubino coming away with a quick double, pretty much securing this round already.
So it must have been communication because Henny could watch drop while being safe.
While being hidden, yeah.
Yeah, while being hidden, but not the other way around.
I kind of thought he was.
Yeah, maybe he just felt like it. That's possible too, but again, another mistake coming back to haunt Tempo Storm. This has been, I think, 2 now that have kind of ruined their lead on CT side. First was the MP7 that resulted in a 2-for-1, and then Henny dying for free in that situation. And that's pretty much the best way to beat Henny is to shoot him when he's not looking at you. So anytime they can do that, we're going to see Dignitas probably come away with a round. Straight up.
Well, and Puckett's maybe happy to see Shoddy Snipes coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I mean, those Max 7s, we've already saw one actually do quite a bit of damage to Dignitas on one of their B plat takes. Speaking of B plat, Henny's gone up over the boxes.
Looking real nimble.
And now he's jumped down.
Just kidding.
I thought Henny was going to be the nimble navigator there, but no, not quite. He's been forced off. So good use of utility already for Dignitas to kind of just ensure that that B platform is cleared out.
Yeah, I actually stole this B hit, the B hit that I used from Dignitas that they're using right now. No, it looks a little bit more loose. They're just running out based on where their aggression is, and Henny is now going to be able to just take pot shots off on players coming out of drop and out of long B with the help of Lucas is making this look easy. 4 players alive still from Tempo as Tensky goes down. And wow, I mean, Dignitas got the opening frag and immediately just gets shut down. In part due to Lucas and his Mag 7, and also Henny just being able to stay alive. Pretty much had no foes to challenge him in any meaningful way. Just had free shots moving from the left to the right, no problem.
Yeah, so MSL hit that entry, but he got dinked, right? And then Lucas with the Mag 7, even from very long range, got that first kill. So then he was in a safe enough position to kind of transfer closer to drop and then get those, one-shot range with the Mag 7. And then, of course, Henny just working the left, working the right. getting all those kills around the statue.
Okay, this is the B hit that I stole from Dignitas. This is where Rubino gets out.
What a thief.
He gets out of the long B smoke. It's by far the best B hit I've seen.
The hair grows any longer, I'm going to start calling you Aladdin. We got Lucas to find 2, though, playing under the wall and in between the smokes. Make it 3. Bolts will bring down Rubino, and it's MSL trying to get something done, but Showtime on his rotation from A to close it out, and suddenly TempoStorm Storm within 1 round.
It's every time Dignitas have gone B, they've basically lost. I think it's every single round they haven't won a single round with a B hit. The few times they've won, it's A control into, well, not the few times, but for the majority of rounds they've won based on A control into actually going in instead of A control and then running it back. But there they just did their full B hit and got crushed from broken wall. That's a spot where you could like throw a Molotov when it flowers maybe as well, but they didn't clear because they didn't have quite enough money. And now actually have an armor up with a UMP and they're trying to hit B fast through a Molotov.
Wow, Lucas, he was expecting them to be running out behind those flashes. He actually used a lot of the ammo that he has inside of this AK, so I don't think he'll even find a chance to get the reload. That could limit his potential here. He still gets the 1 kill, layers in some damage. Now it's Bolts on the site, gonna find 2 as he transfers over to Kirby, and it's Henny with that out to find MSL in config, making a lot of noise, and unfortunately not finding the kill onto Phelps as he was looking the wrong way, and instead it's Phelps that will put the bullet into the face of config, and we're tied up 7-7 going into the last round of the first half of the second map.
Now I mentioned, like, you know, TempoStorm, well, on that pistol round, there wasn't much to be said about watching the demo, but watching the demo for just TempoStorm's B setups throughout this half, it's just been fantastic. They shut down Dignitas, who are renowned for playing this map. And when you're renowned for playing a map, it's because you're so good on the T side. And when you're so good on the T side of Cobble, it means you're so good at taking B. So the fact that TempoStorm have just been able to shut them down, the relentless aggression from Dignitas and every single way that they've tried to hit it, is remarkable, to say the least.
And once again, like, we had Phelps actually drop out because of a little bit of a sound problem, but you can see that 3 players have 11 kills each. So again, that distribution on TempoStorm, like, it's been such a team effort for them. Yeah,
Phelps has been crucially important because he's been switching sites. So he's been like the rotator, and that means that he's got to stack sites at the right moment, and he's pretty much got to use his reads to do that, right? He's not even waiting for. I mean, he could be waiting for a call as well, so it's somebody's read, but ultimately, he's the extra man that you have, you know, when Dignitas rush up A and they kill you, they catch 1 player off guard.
Oh, this is actually from the last map. This is the one where Henny gets the shot through the floor. This one is insane. And I don't know if, was that attempt at dropping a weapon? There's another one, the same thing, a wall bang there onto the headshot. And look at Henny just taking everybody out of the air. I don't think you jump peek this guy. Henny with another one. This is apparently just his highlight reel. And looks like we have jumped over to Cobble, hitting the shots on the A site. It's just insane, right? It's hard to deal with that. And it goes in line with what the desk was saying, right? The first time that they feel they've seen Henny actually step up against, you know, quality European opponents. Which is like a big step, I think,
I mean,
for his growth
today?
and for TempoStorm.
Are you saying a Mirage?
Just
today? So
far at this tournament.
Oh, I see.
Having bested SK and now, I mean, possibly having Dignitas.
I mean, he had like, he has had some stand-up performances, like Guardian in that post-game interview. So that Henny wrecked him all map, 1 map, and that he was just totally destroying him. So
injured Guardian.
That's pretty much the highest of praise. No. Before injury.
Okay.
Pre-injury Guardian, unwounded. Pretty high praise.
Then that's meaningful, yes.
Yeah, that's pretty high praise. So, Henny, man, he's nuts. That shot on the player jumping just to spot long B, like that, or just B site, that's supposed to be 100% safe.
Yep. Actually, I think early on, like right when TempoStorm started playing a bit more as they came over to the North American scene, I commentated one of the matches on Mirage. That is certainly like a playground when it comes to Henny using his op. I think he went 45-6.
Wow.
Yeah, that's online, but still, you know, he's hitting these shots again. Not quite as many of them, but he's still hitting those same shots, just ridiculous ones.
It's fine to be even better online as long as you also do it online. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Bring some of that over. And it looks like we are going to be ready to go. Just 2 seconds on freeze time now. Phelps is here, and hopefully his sound is working great.
7-7 here. Only each team looking for a numerical lead. And once again, you know, just like we saw in Mirage, we're seeing a half where both teams just played extremely well, and only a couple of mistakes are separating them in terms of how they're winning rounds and losing rounds. But this is some excellent CS we're seeing with very few mistakes.
Yeah, so looking at the utility now of Dignitas, that those sidebars are back. They have a decent amount, but it's the pistols, right? That's all they've got. And the Scar 20's actually come out for Showtime. Which could be interesting. And Dignitas not going to do anything over there at middle quite yet. They're going to back off.
You know, I made a point about their buying patterns on Dignitas and how they're like being very careful about their economy. But I think their last 3 rounds they've actually forced up. When I think if it's 3 rounds in a row, you almost certainly are supposed to save in the first one. And I'm not sure. I think they kind of all in on that one long B hit. It failed, and then they did it again, and then they are now here. So maybe throwing a bit of a lead there with their own economic decisions. That was quite an angle.
Yeah, and quite a way for that body to just hang there, even kind of blocking the angle. And whoa, what a flash landing on that little balcony, but he's low enough that Tensky will use the HE and find that kill. Still a difficult position now for Dignitas. Config has taken away the Scar 20, and Tensky still has the Deagle, but well, player coming in on the flank won't be needed. Bolts is just going to get them both. He'll bring down Tensky and Config, and Tempostorm will win the half on the CT side, 8-7, but we're going to go for a halftime intermission. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss anything going into the second half of Cobble.
Sunlight begins to fade now, and I feel like I'm losing time, but I don't know how I'm here. The sunlight has turned to gray, and I feel like I'm losing love again. I don't know how I'm here.
Welcome back, everybody. We're about to get into the second half of Cobble now. Switching sides, we saw quite an impressive defense, actually, especially on the B site for Tempostorm. But now they will be the aggressors with a 1-round lead going into this pistol round.
Yeah, will it be meaningful? We'll see. I mean, pistols are just so important because they're worth 3 when they're played properly, or when the anti-ecos are played properly. But both teams are really good. Dignitas also always will have a plan on the second round if they are to lose the pistol, but it's not something you plan on. You plan on winning the pistol because it's so damn valuable. It seems like, oddly enough, Dignitas are doing something similar to what Tempo did, except for Showtime is out here to catch the A push and gets the kill. Wow, it seemed like.
Even the server, you know, on top of that one, Showtime just saved Phelps by killing Tensky, and that is exactly what happened. Eventually, casters will be replaced by robots, probably. Here's Rubino finding two beautiful headshots onto both Lucas and Phelps. Now trying to get into the site, coming up that broken wall at A. And it's bolts that will fall actually to Kirby. So Dignitas now in the commanding position. It's Showtime, who's had 2 big kills on this round. But that ace is going to be a big ask. And it's 8-8.
I wonder what this means. I mean, this is really crazy. I thought that if Tempo Storm win this pistol, it's going to feel like Tempo Storm are just going to start to walk away with it. I wouldn't say run because the scores are so tight, but now Dignitas won it. They can start to take their lead back and get in a commanding position. And being on CT side, so important for them to keep the economy high. Spirits high. Economy high, spirits high.
I think that's generally how it works. We'll see Tempo Storm, right? I mean, not completely out of a round like this. The power of the Tech 9s and the armor on some of these rounds, and maybe a team that could make mistakes on an anti-eco. I'm not sure Dignitas will, as Config now, he's got onto this B platform. He's peeking in for some information, and yeah, he'll give it up. He's not going to try to force that issue too much, but now so blind. It's Kirby saving the day, and Rubino trying to put in a little bit of damage here, still playing on that site statue. Looks like they will find this round with maybe not too many casualties, just Config going down. MSL will find one more on it to Henny, and it's Showtime. Ultra long range for a Tech 9. Does find Kirby back in KFC.
Patience is a virtue.
Yeah.
That's what we learned from that shooting right there. Don't spam when you don't need to. And that was a top flash right there to blind our player Broken Wall. But if there was a pass smoke to complement it, they probably would have been able to get out and get that kill. But instead, Dignitas are able to manage to keep many players alive in that round and now move into this one even freer than last. And they're going to try to funnel all their players or everybody into the SMGs if possible. That's where the loss bonus comes from, or that's where the kill bonus comes from. MSL, Tensky tethering off each other, doing a lot of work, and Tensky realizing that he's better off picking up the M4 before someone else gets it. Also gives him a better chance to get the kill without dying, and now they recycle that gun. So it doesn't even matter that MSL died here. He would end up rebuying, considering he knows they're going to go up against a buy-up from Tempo Storm. No sweat off their back. A UMP, actually more viable than MP7 in almost every single way versus armor. It does quite a bit more damage. We see players use the UMP on buys where they're the only ones who are a little bit low. And it's just, it's a really viable weapon that has a very simple spray pattern, just straight up, and does a lot of damage versus head armor or just armored opponents in general.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of fall off at range, of course, just like any submachine gun. So yeah, it's still good to get close and personal, but the armor pin values and, like you said, the simple spray pattern, it's pretty easy to control, which is good because, you know, one limiting factor, just the 25 bullets. But Config will take that and he will try to get close. Probably set up behind the wood box or maybe put the smoke and get back into that kind of enclave over there to his right. As Tempo Storm, they actually don't really have any utility to clear things out. Just one HE, no Molotovs, no nothing. Just smokes and flashes.
Tempo Storm don't like to. They love to stand behind smokes and just bully and use nades, use ammo. And those are things that, you know, you do have a certain amount to waste. Like almost no one ever uses all their AK ammo in a round. So it's nice to see some spam coming out. And wow, 2 ships crossing in the night just now as Config gets a UMP kill over the head of Phelps. Is looking to re-aggress on long B and takes him down 1 for 1 now. Almost not worthwhile though. I'm a little bit hesitant because it was just a UMP to go down.
And now they've actually only got 1 smoke and 1 flash for the side of Tempo Storm, and time is getting low. It's going to be go time with the running straight into Rubino, who's got a little bit of an off angle here down on the flowers. He's going to find 2. They'll hunker down back against that wall, and there's nothing Henny can do, right? He knows where this player is, but he can't do anything about it.
Yeah, Rubino knows not to peek. Henny spinning around. Try to get a 180, and Kirby comes up behind him and takes him down. So, wow, what an amazing play from Rubino, though. So much damage dealt, 2 kills secured in a situation where he could have died and it wouldn't have been that outrageous, or it wouldn't have been that bad. Instead, he does, 280, 290 damage. What a hold from him. Kind of just caught out in the open is why that was so special, right?
And look at Rubino, 103 ADR there in just the 19 rounds. Or rather, like quite a few rounds, right? 103 over 19. That's a big performance here for Rubino. And I think the man that's been helping out the most in this matchup has been Kirby, the 2 big performers for Dignitas. Whereas on Tempo Storm, everyone very, very close. I think Lucas maybe still on top and Bolts is down there at the bottom, but it's 8-11 now and likely to be 12 for Dignitas. Not much going here for Tempo Storm.
Nope, not a whole lot. Tempo Storm probably taking some time to talk about next round while also setting up for maybe something quick and easy. They do have a smoke and a flash on Phelps this time, so maybe if they coordinate that pop flash that they threw that was so great on their previous eco with just a path smoke, they might have an easier time getting out long B. But really taking their time on this one.
Yeah, and they've not gone in to the drop room just yet. It's kind of been cleared out. Dignitas are aware. They're hearing these pistols. They don't want to be close, and Kirby's in this spot.
Oh, did you see that? They shot bullets so that Lucas could get down without making any sound. And almost caught Kirby off guard. He's like, why didn't I hear that?
Yeah, it was maybe a bit surprised. We've seen a player that close already. Now flashes as they try to push off the B platform. There's Kirby and Config. MSL coming over to help out, but then realizing, you know what, they've got it. Let me go back and check the window. He'll find Showtime and Henny. He's probably glad he did it. He'll find 2 kills.
At what point do you start regretting picking Cobblestone versus Dignitas? I think we'll find out after this rifle round.
Probably after round 21, yeah.
Yeah. I think we'll definitely see after this round. Tempo Storm got to be feeling fortunate that they came away with the first map, considering Dignitas have not dropped a map on CT side yet. Though, that being said, it was the quick 5, meaning when only 1 rifle round to actually show for it. And so Tempo Storm have the opportunity here to swing the momentum back in their favor. Though it's going to be quite a haul as Dignitas have spent some time to build up their economy, keeping many players alive versus saving players on the other team.
And Tempo Storm are actually going to keep it relatively slow, and I wonder if it's maybe the op of Henny slowing it down, seeing if he can't find a first pick early on. I don't think we've really seen like a 5 AK strap from them yet on the T side.
He's just so damn good with that op. I mean, it's hard to tell him no, and I don't blame him either. Very good on T side. Oh, that's a really good Molotov, but wasn't able to capitalize on Config crossing. In fact, he barely takes 40 damage.
So now Rubino, it looks like you mentioned, they love to try to just throw bullets through the smokes and see if they can't get anything done. They'll drop actually kind of a wall by the connector, and now a wall of smoke rather by the connector doors. And on Rock, you can see it now from Rubino's perspective, and he's just completely caught. He was trying to look at that smoke, but then gets wrapped on, shot from behind. And this round being played out perfectly here by Tempo Storm.
Yeah,
just Tensuke and MSL alive, and what a shot there. Now just MSL. He's also out of the connector. That wasn't quite expected by Phelps, so a trade comes out, but now MSL to run away.
That was just just as you said, perfectly well played. The spacing, the trade. There wasn't even need for trades. No one even died on that B hit. Just the spacing, the explosiveness, and the proper timing on that execute meant that Tempo Storm caught Dignitas perfectly off guard, and it seemed like everybody was kind of upset about their positions as terrorists came out to face them, and that's the kind of the uncomfortability.
There it is.
Yeah.
The word's not very comfortable itself.
Yeah, ironically enough, but they made them uncomfortable in their spots, and I think that was what was key for that B hit. So there was something about the timing between when the smokes and flashes started cascading over the site and when Dignitas felt like their spots weren't good enough anymore, that Tempo Storm were able to capitalize and catch him out of position. Rubino was key, right, on that for focusing down long B, and he moved out from broken wall to cross back to rectangle and was already too late and not feeling good about where he was at that moment. So.
And that smoke take was pretty cool too, just like the small little wall using 2 smokes around rectangle and the rock. Definitely less common. And now 9-12. This is a big round for Tempo Storm. It can keep things going, or it could really just slow them down by breaking that economy. And they'll, again, continue to play it slow. We got Rubino looking through the 5-hole. Not sure how popular hockey is over here, but...
That's great. Ooh.
They've lost a man already with Showtime going down, but a lot of damage given by Henny now. He's going to push through, nearly taking that shot, and it's Lucas and Phelps who have stormed out of the drop window, looking to go for this ace split. Tensuke ready for them, but on 3 HP, it will be very hard for him to win the battle. And now Bolt is just waiting, but it's Rubino that's able to win that out with the Scar 20. That is pretty surprising. That was a very important battle. That's the difference between this 4-on-2 or a 3-on-3. But Phelps is going to try to still continue to work for this. And now Henny hitting that shot. We are in a 2-on-2, and yeah, the bomb in a very, very difficult spot.
Where is it?
I think it's below the drop.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, it's back in the halls.
That's what I worried about. Okay. And Rubino finding a frag. Not even sure how the bomb died there. Oh my god.
I think it was just on the split. The bomb came down through drop. I mean, one of those guys got tagged down there.
20 seconds, and oh, they're fully anticipating him to come through the door, and he's not going to be able to escape. Like, he's just going to get wall banged if he doesn't. Yeah, so there's just no hope there. So nice play from Dignitas. Give up the bomb and just play confidently, knowing that he saw the Scar 20 in front of the rat hole and was like, you know, I'm not going to go back there. That would be dumb of me. So good on them. It's important to sometimes just like make presence and then just leave completely, because even if you aren't actually there, your presence alone can factor into how somebody is going to approach the situation. If you know that you're in their head enough to just give up that spot, that can mean a lot if you can be in two places at once.
And actually, Cobblestone still have a decent amount of money to put forth in this round, and they're trying to go very, very quickly now, and that's working out. Showtime and Lucas both finding entry kills onto this B's site. Kirby does have a response here from the AB connector, and he tries to spray down, had that angle set, but everyone behind cover. And actually, everyone has taken a little bit of damage on the side of Tempo Storm, so these M4A4s will be quite potent, even against that head armor moving forward in this round.
No utility.
And there you go. There's the one-shot kill. MSL onto Lucas. No utility for the post plant on it. Tempo Storm, and a little bit for Dignitas as they go in on the retake. It's still going to be Bolts and Henny. Now just Bolts. Back here in KFC. Or shall we call it Nando's, since we're over here in the UK.
Oh, it's a bad molly. Oh, and he peeks out anyways. Jeez, I wonder why he actually did that. He might have been worried that someone was on the bomb, but Dignitas win that 3v4 retake and maintain the auto sniper, which probably wouldn't have seen the light of day again in follow-up rounds, considering it just got shut down twice. Now, Rubino got absolutely destroyed on those entries, and that was some fantastic shooting from Tempo Storm, but they weren't able to lock it down, and I think maybe need to be a little bit more aggressive in their after plans, or I guess ultimately just had to hit shots that they expected of themselves. Like we had, I think it was Lucas to go down a long B plat on that player rotating through, and that's by far the strongest. Usually the main choke point for where terrorists enter a bomb site is also the best retake spot and also the hardest for CTs to get to. So when a CT is able to come through long B in that situation, they have a lot of value coming into the site, especially if they're able to get that kill, get control of it. And even though Dignitas only had 3 players on that retake, they had tons of utility, and these are players who know how to use their utility.
So this is kind of a weird time to pause, right? Because like the money hasn't been great. Even in that last round for Tempo Storm, they didn't have everything that you would want moving into a rifle round on the T side. And now they've taken this pause, and the money's even in a worse of a state.
Yeah, it's like, are they going to buy? I don't know.
They are. They have already.
Oh, they have already? Really?
Yeah. And it's Tech9's utility.
Interesting. I mean, they really just don't want to let it go to match point, maybe feel unconfident about having to go to OT versus Dignitas, maybe feeling good about the fact that they have a map already and see that as an opportunity to just, I don't know, either end it early or not get the map point and actually win out. So I can kind of side with that logic. I mean, I think like a lot of teams would not force up in this situation, considering they'd be 6 rounds away, but then have a much better chance of actually winning if they're to take it round by round. But haven't seen much hope so far on their T side, even though they have gotten the bomb down a couple of times now.
Yeah, actually getting a bomb plant on this round could go a long way, because now that they've bought here, they basically will be buying again when it comes down to facing a match point.
Yeah, it's two crap buys pretty much. So it's clearly not a great decision to do it, but it seems like they either want to get this out of the way or feel like if it goes to OT, they lose anyway. So.
Well, actually, now that we can see the buy in full, they were able to get 2 AKs out of that.
This is the proper way to spend your money, by the way. Like, not too many AKs and like a lot of utility.
Yeah. I mean, and the Tech9s too, right? There's something to be said about that on a map like Cobble, especially with Config playing close, but it's Rubino. Can he be dealt with? Molotov going to bounce in. That'll force him to move over. He will take 1 shot, so they've heard that auto sniper. Smoke's going down. Fire onto the tree. And Rubino spamming through, but not connecting on anything. And the bomb's going to go down 5 versus 5. Quickly it turns into a 4v4 as there was a flank coming out on that platform. So controlling that now are Tempo Storm. Kirby's going to try to flash push through the smoke, and it will work out. Expecting a man back there in KFC. That's Phelps. Hasn't been able to deal with him quite yet. He's hiding out. He tries to peek now, but it's Rubino just laying down that suppressing fire with the Scar 20.
Way too confident about, I think the issue for them there was they were way too confident about playing like default after plan spots with way worse guns than they even had last round and without getting the kills. So the thing is that like when you're on a low buy like that, and when you're on a low buy like that, what you want to do is you know, it's great the smokes came out. They were able to get the bomb down. But Dignitas are going to feel perfectly fine playing behind the smokes. In fact, like, teams always play behind those smokes. Like, they might sacrifice one person who plays, like, Broken Wall for that execute, but are perfectly comfortable having to retake because there aren't that many great spots to stand. And so if you have a lot of utility and better weapons, you can win very easily. And I think key point was having the better weapons there. So it was up to Tempo Storm to actually be more aggressive in the afterplant and try to get more kills than just to sit in their angles and hold them.
So this is like the other alternative not so good buy. Instead of a couple AKs, Tech 9s, and utility, they've gone for pretty much straight Galils across the board. There was the one AK, and Showtime's already come away with the Galil frag, so now he's got the A1S. And they are actually just eviscerating Dignitas. There's just one player left right now is Kirby. And he's going to make it a little bit more expensive. He will take Showtime out of the air, a little pop flash over to take control of CT Slope to try to fight Henny. And ooh, this could be interesting. The Scar 20 has now gone over to the opposition.
Wow. Somehow Tempo Storm, after deciding to buy in a situation where it seemed like they were just going all in, have managed to scrape together another buy, which was pretty bad, but still win the round. That's a round Dignitas should not have lost considering the victories that they've had versus better buys in a much more charged up, I'm sure, Tempo Storm earlier in this half. So now Dignitas actually don't have that much money, and Tempo Storm have converted around and picked up an auto sniper. So that's a big win for them, and they're only 5 rounds away from OT. It's suddenly looking like they could actually get their way back in this, but they're going to have to show us stuff that we haven't seen so far in this half.
Yeah, they're going to have to work hard for another round or two before they can even get a freebie by breaking the money of Dignitas.
Isn't it just this round?
Oh, maybe it is just this round.
Config already has a FAMAS.
That's true.
Maybe.
Well, we'll definitely know after this one, or maybe this could be the one where Dignitas just gets it done. But it's Henny with that Scar 20 to take down Tensky with, well, through something. I'm not sure exactly where that happened. Tempo Storm continuing to play it slow with, they've actually got 3 players out there still in T middle, but I think they're coming back over for that bomb to gear up for B. A little under a minute now on the clock here in round 26.
Bolt's just trying to cause a distraction. If you're wondering why he was shooting when his teammates out there, I'm sure he's fully aware that Phelps is standing right at that wall, but wants to try to bait out some aggression from a long B player. And as soon as someone shoots down the hallway, Phelps can peek out.
Oh, this is massive for MSL. He's going to find Henny for free, and there's no one set up for the response. Now Config, oh, he wanted to go in, but I think that flash from his teammate might have caught him, so it slowed him down. Now he's very fortunate to have done as much damage as he did while fully blind, and it's Kirby trying to crouch and just play that headshot angle from what he had to do in the sight, but he can't do anything. And now it's MSL that's going to fall. Showtime coming away with 2 kills, 4 HP and 2
HP.
For Showtime and Lucas, who were very, very low but staying alive. And now the money's good for Tempo Storm and bad for Dignitas. So it looks like we're staying on Cobble for a few more rounds at least.
I think so, yeah. I really fear for Dignitas in this situation. They kind of lost a round they really weren't supposed to, and then lost the follow-up round pretty convincingly. So now Tempo Storm have some more options, and they've also got the ability here. Well, it's not going to matter too much. They'll always have a full buy going on, but as long as that's provided that they have like a baseline of economy to fall back on. But yeah, like they already don't have full utility on this round, so here's gonna be a round where they farm up, and then if they don't lose too many players, have full utility and move into the next rifle round a lot more confident.
And they really shouldn't lose any more than just one person perhaps on this round against just USPs and a P2K there on Config. And you can see 3 set up with the bomb a little bit behind them in that B museum for Tempo Storm, and 2 others clearing up long A right now, trying to get some information on maybe where the CTs are stacked up. And Bolt's, I think, the one to find that information, getting some pressure at B, although only spawning 2 people for now.
Yeah. Dignitas known to stack sites. I mean, as soon as they see 2 people, like, maybe they'll just assume that there is going to be a stack, but that also doesn't tell them that much because the stack could run away and information is being taken at A as well. Henny always getting wallbang headshots. No matter what the circumstance, with an AK, with an op, versus saving player, versus a rifling player. And then now Tempo Storm 3 away from OT, going into another rifle round, but Dignitas are in a situation where if they lose this round, they're most likely going to have to force up and then save one, or save up and then go for another full buy. And super low, $100 each.
I'm really seeing Henny just with a Tech 9? Oh, never mind. Okay. Op was on the ground. He's picked it up now. That makes me feel a bit better. And MSL has pulled out the op now on the CT side. Will he avoid the battle? Will he try to find Henny? Who knows?
Now, I wonder if they do that full B execute that they were doing, but instead of having like really low equipment, they use the same amount of utility, but they have way better guns now, and they can play the after-plan spots they want to. Though MSL, turning it up, actually gets a first kill and takes 50 damage for it. We take those.
Yeah, he's definitely taking that one. He was probably hoping he could op out Henny, but instead he took down Phelps. But still, it's a lot of damage done, and the man advantage now for Dignitas. MSL holding another angle. It seems to be aware that someone has gotten in there behind the box. They definitely know now, because Config's been able to spot that barrel out. Op shot to be missed. Now Bolt's holding that. He's going to take down MSL. Is he aware that Config has gone up onto the... Oh, he's got to have heard the reload. He seems to know now, and he's going to change his position, and Config starts to push through, and Bolts might just be taking this round into his own hands. 2 massive kills for him. Now 4 on 3. Kirby over and drop.
That was
and
so
you
sloppy.
can see Tempo Stormer actually now sliding back over to A, and I think the man here, that's going to be Tensky on the site, and Kirby to be the first rotator through connector. Rubino lagging behind a bit there in B site right now.
They know someone's left at A, but because they have so much control of it for free, they're just going to be able to clear stuff, have peace of mind. And the rotate's coming out, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
like almost all here.
Yeah.
This could be difficult. Tensky's able to get one. That'll have the bomb dropping and rolling into that site, and Kirby's taking up a position here on the van. A player has crossed into site. What's going to happen with Tensky? Tensky, oh gosh, he's doing a backflip. Rubino's taking down Bolts, and this is getting, yeah, that's going to be it. He's there to finish it off with that second kill from the below the broken wall there at A. And it's Kirby. That was his 20th frag right there. Rubino